There you go.
With just 5 on a pair, the squad should take about 2 hours. About 23 minutes in here, and just coming towards the end of game number 1 of 4. Here on the main channel, we'll be taking you around to the different bowling centers. Again, we have 4 of us in 4 different locations. Starting out game number 1 here at Strike Force. We talked about this on the broadcast last Saturday in our U20 divisions. But this is quite a test for these young athletes out here at Junior Gold. 4 separate days of qualifying, 4 games per day, 4 different lane patterns. Those 16 games will then make up a cut. And each division is a little bit different with the cut number. But we'll make that cut, and then they'll see another pattern in the advancers round, and then another pattern. And by the time if they make the top 3 stepladder in the finals, compete to become the champion, the prestigious championship trophy and title, so you're looking at about 40 games. 40 total games to get there. And it all starts here on day one.
It's a lot of games.
Yeah, it's a true test.
Yeah, one of the interesting things, we've been here for a week already. We covered the U20 championship last week, and that was really outstanding. But one of the things that's different about the format from that event to these divisions this week are that they bowled those games in a compressed timeline. They bowled 8 games of qualifying both of the first 2 days, whereas these bowlers have 4 games each day for 4 days, which I think gives them a little bit more time if they do have a bad block to kind of bounce back from it. When you're not bowling all that well, sometimes you want to stop and kind of reset and come up with a new strategy, maybe change some surfaces on some bowling balls. So that's, one of the advantages, I think, of the format this week is that, if a player has a bad day, they can kind of take some time off and get away from it, or, think through what they want to do for the next day. It just gives you a little bit more time.
Absolutely. JT, if you look off to the right side of your screen, you're going to see a 136. It may already be gone.
I saw that. Yeah.
She hit the 1-3 and didn't get the 6.
I saw that. Yeah. That's rare. We saw Verity Crawley on and Deandra Asbady also in Louisville leave a 6-pin light pocket 6-pin.
I got Del Ballard back here running shots out for Alyssa, who's going to have the opportunity to open up with 225 to start her day.
It's a great start.
Del just told me to shush it.
He doesn't want you get near her daughter or his daughter because of the black cloud factor.
Yeah, and she did bowl 225. And she's playing Carolyn's line.
Del, when we have one of his players with the front 7 or 8 or 9, and we go down with the camera, he always tells us to get away.
Yeah. Anna Maxwell with a nice start here, 244. Coming down to the end of game number 1 here in our U18 girls division. Game number 1 of qualifying. Glad you're with us.
And speaking of the Ballards, Carolyn Dorn Ballard will be calling our stepladder finals with yourself, Mike, at the end of the week. And it will be an interesting situation if Alyssa makes it to the stepladder.
That would be very interesting.
It'll remind me of the days on ABC Sports when Dick Weber had to call the shows, where Nelson Burton Jr. made the show, and one time Pete made the show with Nelson, and Dick Weber had to call the show while his son was bowling for the title.
Yeah, it's always a really cool thing. I remember when Michael Waltrip won the Daytona 500, and his brother Daryl was in the booth on the very first Fox broadcast, and Daryl Waltrip crying on the air. We could have a moment like that right here on Bull TV.
That would be pretty special. I mean, imagine Carolyn having to interview Alyssa after she won the junior title. Wow.
If that happens, we'll have to just have a Del Ballard camera streaming on its own channel during that show. But make sure somebody's working the man camera, because he'll be moving around and jumping around quite a bit. So we got a couple scores on the board here. Erica Bone opens up with 138. Alexis Shea finishes with 154.
Looks like you got a couple of big scores here on our featured pair of the first game, Mike.
Yeah, we do.
Potential 240 on 15 and 16, and
yeah, Brianna.
Another on 13 and 14, and Victoria bowling a solid game. She's clean. And we did Junior Gold Live, 2 podcasts from the trade show on Saturday, and had a number of top professional players and ball reps and other folks who are experts and they've been around the sport for a long time, and asked them for their advice. And if it was a Family Feud question, I would say 95% of people surveyed said make your spares.
Yep, that's true.
Survey says make your spares.
Number one answer on the board. What would be like the number? There'd probably be 4 more answers.
Right.
One would get 2 votes and 3 would get 1 vote.
Right. I would say have fun would be number 2.
Yeah.
And yeah. Boy. Is there a third answer?
How about pick the right 5 balls?
That's a good one. That's an important factor this week. You only get to pick 5 balls, and
maybe get some sleep.
That's a really good one. I like that one. Obviously, sleep. It doesn't apply to us, but
no.
But I do like that advice.
So that's it. You want to succeed at Junior Gold? You can sign up for our $9.99 pamphlet. It says make your spares, get some sleep, have some fun, and bring the right 5 balls. That's about
it. That's about it.
Yep. I kind of get beat up in the chat when I talk about this, but I can't help but do it again here. I love all the jerseys and the accessories, the apparel, we got leggings. We've got all kinds of cool outfits. I love all the different personalities.
Yeah. I'm not going to carry the conversation on any further because people tend not to like it when we talk about that. But I agree.
I mean, some of these young athletes, they've got the city they're from on their shirts. Some of them have just like a color scheme that brings them good luck.
I will say, I know we ran into Ken Keegan the other day at the trade show, and I Am Bowling, powered by Logo Infusion, is the official jersey supplier of Junior Gold. And man, they do a lot of work to get these jerseys ready for these kids. And like you said, Mike, they're very cool. I mean, when I was growing up, I know those words tend to get a lot of people to hit the mute button on their video. But when I was growing up, we did not have jerseys like this. You had the embroidered jerseys, and you just it was a mishmash of. But everybody here, they all look like they're part of a professional sporting event.
Yep,
and that's what's cool about it.
Yeah, so it looks like Cadence Bottrell finishes with 191. Got 193 for Ann Ecker. Victoria Verano finished with 181. It's 157 for Bellarine Wakaki. And got one more player finishing up here on 13 and 14, and that's Ariana Wilson. She can still be in the 160s. Finishing up on 15 and 16. Brianna Rogers here can still bowl two. Looks like 226. Be a nice start. Victoria Kokenauer can still bowl 228. And Electra Sardis can still bowl 168. So that'll be, it's kind of your scoring pace for game number one here from Strike Force. Got an opportunity to take you to several different centers here today. So we'll see where we want to land next. I know, JT, you've got a couple of celebrities over at your location also.
Well, we do on Channel 4 right now. We've got Nicholas Hayes, who's got a possible 279 here in game number one. So he might be somebody we would want to watch.
Also have another celebrity in the building, Chris Sand. He's here as well from Turbo. And JT, you know that Chris Sand is the answer to a trivia question, a famous trivia question, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
He's within earshot of me right now, shaking his head a little bit about that one.
Would that be the Parker Bone 300 game?
It would be.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Parker Bone bowled 300 at Chris Sand. Chris is still getting royalties from YouTube for that show.
Well, you know what's funny? I have a funny story about that, Mike. When I worked for the PBA, we made a membership recruiting brochure. And the photo that we used was a shot from that 300 game where Parker Bone had his back to the camera and had his arms up in the air and a bunch of people in the crowd, cheering. And at the time, they didn't require the bowlers to wear names on the back of the shirt. So it looked like, and this is what we wanted. We wanted the person to see the brochure and put themselves in the place of Parker Bone, right?
Okay.
So we could do that. So we put the brochure out, and we actually got an email from somebody who was in the crowd who threatened to sue us because we didn't get his permission to use his photo in the membership brochure, which I thought was quite funny. You don't have to get somebody's permission if they're in the crowd, by the way.
No, you don't.
But I just thought it was funny that he would possibly think that people would be joining the PBA because of his face in a crowd. Anyway, but yeah, that we got a lot of mileage out of that Parker Bone 300 game.
Yeah, and Chris Sand remembers it every single day.
Yeah.
Hey, folks, we hope you've enjoyed. Those of you that are watching on YouTube and Facebook, we hope you've enjoyed this game number one here from the Junior Gold Championships here in Indianapolis. JT, myself, Aaron Smith, Curtis Von Kruger will be here the rest of the week. We'll also pop back on the beginning of blocks throughout the week. You'll see us from time to time on our free previews on YouTube and Facebook. But, of course, we would love to have you join us for all the games all week long and all the bowling here on Bowl TV all throughout the year. Head over to bowltv.com. Pick up a pass for the week, a monthly subscription, or even a yearly subscription. We have a lot of affordable options for you over there. Remember, here at Bowl TV, bowling lives here. It's goodbye for now to those of you on Facebook and YouTube. We appreciate you spending some time with us. Have a good rest of the day, and we'll see you over on Bowl TV.